So first of all, thank you very much, Mr. Cummings, for speaking with FandomWire today about King of Kings. You're obviously a huge inspiration in the voice acting world for a lot of us. But
Thank
let's
you.
go ahead and start with your latest feature. So in King of Kings, you actually voice three different characters. Can you kind of tell us what it's like for you as a vocal performer to have to really split up those characters and provide the motivation behind their different voices, I guess, in those performances.
Sure. Well, they're certainly varied, and I have to say that my favorite uh, part of the movie is when Jesus cures my blindness, and
Yes.
uh, and I've said it before. It appeals in, enormously to me. I'm an old altar boy. You know,
Hmm.
uh, to serve mass down at St. Columba Cathedral, Youngstown, Ohio, and so it's a dream to me. I've said it before, it's literally the greatest story ever told.
Hmm.
And then it's being retold by Charles Dickens, one of the greatest authors ever. And I mean, what's not to love? And then you look at the cast. I mean, Ben Kingsley, Pierce Brosnan, Uma Thurman, Forrest Whitaker. These are A-list people all the way down the line, and including my old buddy James Arnold Taylor, and
Hmm.
it's a true honor to be involved in something of this magnitude and this depth and this beauty. It's wonderful.
Well, and you've obviously been in productions that have had A-list talent before. One of the things that really stood out to me when I was looking at King of Kings is how deep the talent is among the voice actors specifically. You already mentioned James Arnold Taylor. Kind of, what was it like to work on a film that has so much devotion to the craft of voice acting?
Well, I didn't think of it in that way, but it was wonderful. It's it shows when people care. It shows when people love what they do, and Lord knows I love what I do, and it's oftentimes I've worked with many movie stars, just put it that way,
Mhm.
and they bring their own their own special spin, their own special approach to it, and they have such a deep appreciation for really just people who are voice actors because I can remember, not to be name dropping, but Rita Moreno, the great Rita Moreno, she won every award there is, and she said she really enjoyed the freedom she because that it gave because it didn't matter that how she looked. It didn't matter what she was wearing. It didn't matter how her makeup was because no one could see it. And you had to pour everything, every aspect of the character into the voice and into your acting and into the musicality of it, the spirit. It all had to be into the microphone, and you didn't get to. And she was joking. She says anybody can be an actor if you can cheat and use your face, and and I thought, oh yeah, well that's a good way to put it because you literally have to put it all into the voice and into your acting chops, and it's an interesting discipline, and it's very rewarding for me.
What was it like for you to go into the booth in this particular film and know that you're bringing a story like the story of Jesus to life?
But it was an honor, just plain and simple. It was an honor. Uh, it's one that everybody knows. I mean, literally everybody knows. And the challenge I think is to keep it interesting and to keep it moving along and to keep the beauty of Jesus alive. And they did such a beautiful job, in King of Kings. They touched on everything. He was his bravery was there, his the fact that he was one man against ultimately the world. In the end it was one man against the world, and his mom, and I mean even his 12 disciples had to wavered at one point, and making the ultimate sacrifice, and then I mean, finally ending up in the aspect of the King of Kings says it all.
Hmm.
He was never elected. He didn't have a country of his own, but and but he had all of us. He's the only king who for whom everyone who was ever born was his subject.
Well, and obviously, one of the reasons that people are going to be so excited to talk to you is your incredible career, that you've been able to do everything from, Disney to King of Kings. So I do have to ask, obviously, how does working on a movie like this compare to something in terms of just the process of filming it, like The Lion King or Winnie the Pooh or any of your many Disney credits?
Well, the process of it is all very much the same. You're
Mhm.
going to the studio and you're doing your thing, and we all recorded it separately, so we didn't have each other to play off, and it took so long to make.
Mhm.
I mean, Pierce Brosnan was in England, and Sir Ben Kingsley. There, it's hard to get that kind of cast all in one room.
Mhm.
So the challenge was to make sure that the continuity was there, it felt like you were acting and reacting, because acting is part reacting, because something happens and then you have to react to that. And I just think they did a magnificent job, and I'm just grateful to be a small part of this magnificent enterprise, so to speak.
So one of the things that I've always wondered about, because I was a big proponent, back when Christopher Robin came out, of
Mm.
you actually getting Oscar nominated for your vocal performance for Winnie the Pooh.
Well, thank you.
Because
I'm glad
frankly,
we
it
found the
was,
answer.
well,
It would have been fine with me.
it's one of those things where I cannot believe how good your performance was in that role, in that particular movie. But also, it feels like there are times where vocal performances are just an underappreciated art. I guess I wanted your opinion to see, do you actually think that if they were to add an Oscar for vocal performance, would that be something that would help your industry? Or would you think it would be something that would potentially make it harder for performers like you who have created these characters over many years to find your position in the industry?
No, it wouldn't make it harder. I don't know how it would do that. It would be fine with me. They want to they want to do some backlogging there. Yeah, you can nominate me for anything. I'll take it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know any of my colleagues who would say, "Well, I don't know. I don't want that kind of pressure." Sure, we do. Go ahead, give it to us. It would be just fine. I'll tell you what, Alan, you start it and you get that going, and you get the ball rolling and we'll push it. How's
Eh,
that?
our critics group just implemented a hybrid performance award for us this year, so we're gonna keep pushing it for sure.
I'm there.
Yeah.
We'll
And then
definitely get.
obviously one of your other huge roles that you've taken on that's gotten a lot of traction recently is Darkwing Duck.
Mhm.
Kind of tell us about what it's like to voice a character that is so zany like that, and then potentially reprising him in the future.
Well, I am the terror that flaps in the night. So I can assure you, Launchpad, sorry, Alan, that excuse me, that yeah, I'm there. He's one of my all-time favorites. I like doing the classic characters like Pooh, Tigger,
Mhm.
Kaz. For Disney. Pete, of course, well, good old Pete, dear. Well, he's tied for first place as the oldest Disney character because he
Yep.
was in Steamboat Willie.
Mhm.
So, it's an honor. But as far as bringing back Darkwing, uh, I'm just glad that everybody is behind it and they want to see it happen. And you never know. Stay tuned. Could be happening.
Well, and he's
Because
made it. Some of the characters have made appearances in some of the other recent Disney animated shows, so fingers crossed that we see that sooner rather than later.
yes, yes.
Is there any character that you have not performed from the Disney lexicon that you wish you could have or might in the future?
No, no, that would be tantamount to envy. And I'm very happy with my lot in life. I fans when I go to conventions and things like that,
Hmm.
they will tell me, "Well, did you know that you had 611 characters?" And no. I didn't, or but I'm glad that other people are keeping tabs on it. And if I need to catch up with something, I can just go to the interwebs, and the interwebs will tell me what I need to know. So, you know,
Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Cummings. I very much appreciate you sitting down and speaking with us about King of Kings. I guess my last question for you is, as audiences go to see this movie, what is the big thing you hope that they take away from your film?
well, I hope they take away the fact that in this crazy world that we live in now, uh, there is a place you can go in your heart and in your soul, and you can find solace, and you can find salvation, and you can find love, and that's your own personal belief in God. It's very personal, but yet it's also universal, and it applies to each and every one of us. And it's there for you, and it's the kind of thing that you can tap into, and the Lord will get you through some incredibly tough times, and these are interesting times, aren't they? So I think we could all use I think we could all use that vital connection, and it's literally heaven sent, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, thank you again for your time, Mr. Cummings. You have a great rest of your day.
Before you go, I want to invite everybody to check out my podcast, Tuned In with Jim
Yep.
Cummings, TOONDIN with Jim Cummings, and like and subscribe. We're on Spotify and YouTube and etc. And be careful because, like I said, Darkwing Duck could be coming back, and it is. So stay tuned.